Okay, back again. Ladies, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi. So we are covering season 8, episode 16, Tell All Part 1. Now, let's be clear. This was part 1 of 2 hours. We got the 2 hours already. So there's a lot of telling. I don't know if it was super juicy. Allison, did anything shock you tonight?
The beginning was my favorite part because they were all talking about each other.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
some of the quotes were so funny. Like, Rebecca's like, everyone's under the impression that I'm an old hag and they're misinformed. It's like, what are you misinformed about?
Nobody thinks that. Nobody
No. Right.
What
Yeah,
are you talking about? Oh my God.
I like that backstage footage that they give us. They kind of show the people arriving, and it's exactly how I would picture myself. I'd just be like sitting in the chair looking at my phone, and God love Jovi was trying. He was trying to small talk, and it was such a fail. It was making me laugh. B&B, did you have any shocking moments from the tell-all so far?
Not really. I think it kind of went the way I totally expected it to. I thought Julia was a little bit more outspoken than she normally had, but actually,
Go ahead.
the shocking thing was that Brandon tried to get an apartment and Julia shot it down because it wasn't nice enough. So he did put in the effort. So we were under the impression he just was not trying this whole season, and that's not the case.
Yeah, and we see this a lot. Sometimes people from other countries come here with an expectation, and then they see what an apartment in wherever they are in Virginia looks like, and they're like, what is this? We saw it with Yara a little bit too. She's like, this is small and it's dirty. So, yes, it was surprising, and no one really made a big deal about it. So that was interesting. I thought as well. And I mean, can we just credit? I'm falling in love with Sean Robinson. I'm obsessed at this point.
I need her
arms,
skincare regimen, her
The
diet,
arms.
her trainer. Like,
Yes.
I want her arms so bad.
Me too. I don't
Like,
understand
goals.
it. I was trying to think, okay, Rebecca is 50, correct?
Around
And
there,
she,
yeah.
She looks good for 50.
She does.
She looks good. I'm gonna guess Betty is probably around Sean Robinson's age. That's probably what I'm gonna look like when I'm 58. So
No.
I need to do something to put things in the other direction here, because she came out in that yellow dress, just simple. It almost had like I'm obsessed. It's my new thing. When they were going over all the plastic surgery, I wanted to be like, why isn't anyone asking what she's doing?
Right. And when they were talking about like the Botox and the fillers and all that, and I'm sitting here like, fuck. Now I kind of want some.
I know. I was too. I was like, ooh, what would I do first? Gosh, if I was to go on a little spree. And it's funny because the first time I watched this, I was watching on my phone. So I'm kind of like trying to look at Rebecca and, analyze the work that she got done, and I couldn't really see it. So the second time that I watched it, as soon as her face was on the screen, I was like, oh, okay. Yes, I can see this now. She just has
love
that
her
new
hair.
You did like her hair. It was very straight.
I love it. I think it makes her look a lot younger.
Really straight. Yeah, that's a good point. So I thought, did they have a community makeup artist? Because Julia, Yara, they all had the same lip. They all had the same makeup.
Yeah, I think when they go
in a
on
pandemic.
tell-alls, yeah, I think that they do. When they go on tell-alls, they provide that for them, because you see in their interviews they don't look like that. So, like, Natalie looked a lot better, although one of her eyelashes is coming off.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Probably because she's crying a lot.
Yes, she strained them off of her face.
She was. Or she was like giving Mike the evil eyes like every 5 seconds. But no, I thought they all looked great, and I thought Rebecca looked really natural and just pretty. I didn't think there was anything wrong with her before, but she really looked very nice.
No, I agree. And Yara had the plain hair, and I was a big fan of that. I was like, oh, it's so much better
without the extensions.
So much better. The color looked good. I liked the straight hair. So yes, a lot of styling talk. So we'll go back to our couple by couple, and we're going to start with the most miserable people I've ever encountered in my life. And that would be Mike and Natalie. Oh boy.
You could just feel the tension. It was awful.
It was so bad. So bad.
Weird.
Yeah.
There
they
has
just
to
go
be
around
a major
and around.
fight, divorce, something like that. It just not good.
Yep. I mean, I could solve this for them, because the next time someone says, oh, well, we just need to work on things, you walk up and slap them and say, talk, say what it is, because you're not saying anything. Communication. This isn't hard, people. I don't understand. Go ahead, Allison.
I thought it was so strange at the beginning. Well, first of all, they arrived separately.
Yes.
But won't talk about why. And I thought it was great that Sean really pressed Natalie as to why, and she just said, I don't want to answer. And it was kind of like, okay then. And also, I don't know if you noticed this, but at the beginning when Sean started asking them questions, Natalie looked at Mike and she said something like don't, or something like that. You could kind of see her mouth, like she was like looking at him and she's like
shutting something down.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
I didn't either.
Yeah, and she also kept looking at him before she responded. It was almost as if to get his approval. It was very, very weird. I find her over dramatic. I think she was acting like a infant from the time she came in to the thing that she said to Rebecca. I just don't think that we would be friends if I knew Natalie, and I feel bad for Tamra. But her whole demeanor was very bizarre and a little over the top. So I don't know. She might be going to acting school or something like that, but I was not impressed.
I think I heard on Kim and Kyle's podcast that she was previously in some kind of acting school or had done some kind of acting.
Oh,
she needs a refund because she sucks.
It didn't go well. Huh?
No.
Yara too, I believe. I believe she's been in another reality
maybe it was
show.
Yara. Maybe I'm confusing the two.
Possibly. I will have to research that. But so we do get a little bit of interesting information. And this is where, as awful as Natalie is, I'm going to defend her, because we find out the night before the wedding that got canceled, Mike decides to just take off for 6 hours, middle of the night.
Yeah, it's weird.
Now, look, I'm not a micromanager of relationships by any chance, but it's like, if he had just said, look, I got to get out for a little while. I got to clear my head. I'm going to turn my phone off. I'll be gone. That's fine. But to just disappear like that in the middle of the night, I gotta side with her on that. B&B?
Yeah, absolutely.
Does that fly in your household?
I mean, no. But if my husband were to be like, hey, I need to go cool off for a couple hours, I'm going to leave. Okay, at least you're communicating that with me. These people don't know how to talk.
They don't.
And that's a problem.
Terrible. It's terrible. And they seem to keep a lot of stuff from us. Now that you say it, Allison, there's stuff done off camera. They're kind of picking and choosing what they want us to know, which is pretty much nothing.
Like Mike never explained himself on the last 2 episodes. It was just like no cameras, and then all of a sudden we see Natalie. So it's sort of like, what's really going on here?
Yeah, it
makes you wonder.
Very, very strange. And I don't even really know at this point if I'm interested to know. I know that's terrible, and I know they're going to be on HEA, so more to come. But I'm pretty much over them. So hopefully they do something to spice this up. So we'll see.
There was a lot of weird stuff happening too, like Mike's uptalk voice. I don't know if you noticed that either. When he was trying to explain himself, he was like talking like this, and then we were that. And I'm like, I've never heard you talk like this before, so this is strange.
Rehearsed.
He needs to buy a shirt that fits.
Yes.
Like
him and Ziad. They need to go to the big and tall. It's okay, guys. It's fine.
Ziad's shirt actually fit him okay.
It was close, but yeah, it was better than Mike's.
Right, like there was like a little gap at the bottom. I did notice that, but like it wasn't skin tight, like I was just, man, get a shirt that fits. Like they make your size. And then also I felt bad for Trish, because Mike's mom put her smack in the middle of that wedding. Now, as if Trish literally hasn't been in the middle of Mike and Natalie's drama
She's been
24
in
hours
the
before that, sitting in the
line of
car with them
fire.
going back and forth
Yeah.
with each other. Then Mike's mom with the bangs and the hair calls up
God.
and is like, yo, Trish, wait, what's her name? Tamara.
Trish is the mom. Tamara is the friend.
Yeah,
you're fine.
Very similar.
They're very similar people, and it's kind of strange at this point.
Poor Tamara is in the middle of this now on their wedding, and she's being told to object.
What? That's shitty. That's so shitty.
That was messed up.
If you really feel that way, say it's even 3 hours before the wedding. If you honestly feel that way, you call and have a conversation. You do not call the neighbor from down the hill and say, on my behalf, will you please stand up and object to the wedding?
Like, this is your son. This is your son's wedding. You can't come to your son and be like, hey, I have some major concerns. Can we talk it out?
Exactly. Right. No, I agree.
I don't know. I that rubbed me the wrong way.
Mm-hmm. No, it was, but it did make me laugh because at one point they'd been droning on for a while, and they show, my girl Sean, and she's sitting like this, kind of like, like, oh my God, I'm so over it. Like, no one from the cast was, chiming in because there's nothing left to say. So
they all know that they're doomed.
Yeah, okay, this shit show. How much more of this do we have to sit through?
God.
So yeah, that was them. Anything else, Mike and Natalie? They'll be back, so.
Goody. I can't wait.
Yeah, right. So we'll go on to Jovi and Yara. Okay, I have to admit, I thought Jovi looked really good, too.
I agree, and this kind of made me like him a little bit. I don't know why. I felt like he was very personable. Not that he lacked personality before, but he was, I felt like he was bubbly. He was friendly to everybody.
Yes. I'm guessing maybe because he's a new dad, he's not drinking as much, so he didn't look puffy. Was maybe, or he's got some sun. I don't know, but he looked better than usual.
So to that point, though, when they walked in, he was like, I hope there's drinks here. And Yara was like, I don't think there is. But then she goes, I just want to look good. And I'm like, if this isn't them, like, they are themselves right now, because that is who they are. Like,
full on in character.
And I thought that we got actually a better glimpse of who they really are versus who TLC portrayed them to be, because they really do seem to work pretty well together when Jovi isn't being a complete douche. And I think underneath her hard exterior, Yara really is that fun person that we saw in Las Vegas, but also she's very sensitive. Like, she puts up a hard exterior, but I don't think that's really who she is. So I think we got a better slice of them, and I think that they were probably the most likable people, in my opinion, there.
I agree
so
with
far,
that.
We'll have to see how the rest of it goes.
I had a lot of sympathy for her in that stripper scene. Oh, my heart broke for her. That was hard to watch.
Yeah,
it was, and it's unnecessary because
drama.
Look, whatever she's thinking is going to be worse than what it was, and that's what they're trying to like bring about. So it's like this isn't necessary. I don't understand why. It doesn't matter who he's had sex with before they were together. It doesn't matter. So I don't understand the whole like lie detector and let's expose his past. And it's a standing joke. We all make fun of it. Like, he's on a 10-year bachelor party. We all know this. Nothing shocking.
His mom was great. I don't think it's a surprise to anyone that Jovi has hooked up with strippers. Like, I was not shocked by that whatsoever. No. And I think Yara probably knows better than that as well. But everyone has a past. Like, as long as he's, staying true to what they, just agree upon or whatever, it doesn't really matter at this point.
I do love the whole like, okay, we're going to talk about Jovi's bachelor party and what he was doing and all this. Now let's bring in his mom so she can weigh in. Like what a great time to bring in the mom. But I mean, she's a great sport, probably the MVP of the season just in general.
She was so disappointed in her son. You could see it all over her face. It was lovely.
Yep. But that did make me laugh. So, yeah, they get up on the, my friend forces me to go upstairs on my bachelor.
He is forced.
Fuck
Really
this friend.
reinforced.
Seriously, that is not a friend. If he
Is it
respected
Kaz?
he wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I just the whole thing is, and I think there is a little bit of like, you get that whole, well, I'm just going to do what I want and apologize for it later. And I think he does follow that mindset sometimes. Hopefully, you know, the fatherhood thing. And, you know, he was great when we saw him first hold his daughter. You almost like saw something change. So we'll see if that sticks around. I hope it does.
Well, he
So
now has a daughter, and if that isn't karma, I'm not really
yeah,
sure
I
what.
wouldn't have hated if somebody asked him, you know, well, you know, would you want your daughter? You know, because I think it is a valid question, and it does show sometimes a little bit of a character change in when a man grows up a little bit. So then they got into the Julia. Okay, Julia backed herself in a corner a few times this episode, a few times, and it came about with the stripper talk. I was almost confused. I'm like, I don't know what she's saying here.
I don't think she knows what she's saying either.
No.
She's like, there's nothing wrong with it. And then she was a go-go dancer, so she's probably like mistaken for that all the time, but she's not a stripper, but it's okay. She has no problem with it. But if what's his face, Brandon did it, she'd be pissed. And I'm like, huh?
Yeah, I was confused. And I said, is she trying to be funny? I can't tell. You know, B&B, what was she trying to say? Because I was so confused.
Beats me. I have no idea. I was lost. I get lost with this sounds bad, but I get lost with how she says things at times, and I know they have the subtitles, but I think there's a little bit of a language barrier. I think she came off as very immature this entire episode.
Yes. I oh, you mean as a 40-year-old, I don't need a 22-year-old with perfect skin saying, go to the gym, you don't need Botox.
Gym club.
Yeah, all you need to do to fix your face is just go to the gym.
Just go to the
Can you
gym.
imagine?
Like, what are you
Can you freaking imagine?
I was like,
yeah. So, but we'll get to that. So did we have anything else that we wanted to add about them? I'm just trying to read my notes really quick, but no, Jovi and Yara, I like them. I'm excited to see a little bit more. And you know, I'm glad that they had the baby at the end of the season. Now that I think about it. Because I think they weren't allowed to like post pictures of the kid until after.
They can't.
So, you know, that must have been hard. So
she started posting stuff on Instagram. I saw today, actually, she posted when she had the baby and they were in the hospital room and Jovi brought her all these roses. And I'm like, yeah. And you got a push present.
And diamonds. She got roses and diamonds. I got thrown up on. So lovely. I want to read
Adam's going to be commenting in here. I got my wife diamonds and I got her double the amount of roses that Yara got.
God, Adam, send out some memos. Other people need to know these things.
He's got a jeweler and he'll send his name.
There we go.
Adam's got a guy for everything.
True.
We'll go right into Brandon and Julia. They just seem so young. I know they're not that much younger than Jovi and Yara, but it's like a different world.
It's because of the way he interacts with his mom.
Yeah.
He's afraid of her.
Betty had a little bit of a glow up this episode. Her hair was like colored.
They're going swinging after, that's why.
I was like, whoa.
She's ready for the big date.
She would have actually looked good, except the hairdo, the feathered look. Like, somebody needs to tell these people, like, the 1970s have come and gone. You need like some straight hair, like
the perm.
Yeah, it was weird. I was like, okay, but yeah, she looked pretty good otherwise. And I noticed that like in the scenes that they were showing previously, like she had like a lot of gray and she looked older, and there's nothing wrong with that, but she looked a lot more
put together,
and like she looked a lot better. Like, I don't know how to describe it. She looked refreshed.
Did you guys catch in the podcast that they have a couple kids and apparently some of them don't talk to Ron?
Oh.
Yeah, I think they tried to get into the family history, and it seems like Brandon's like the only one left to be really involved in the family. So
That's
Unless
interesting.
they got the swinger scaries or the farm animals. Hey, there's many factors here. It's hard to pinpoint just
Indentured
one.
servitude, yeah.
So they get into this, and I like when the other cast members interact, because they kind of got into the whole, like, should Julia be feeding the animals or not? And I am pro, if you're going to live there, you should help out. Especially if he had to do that after work and she's not working. You go outside and you dump some oats or whatever these animals eat into the bucket and you go on with your day. So she did come across a little woe is me, and I liked that people called her out for it. Allison?
So
I know you hate the pig. I know.
The pig with tusks. I thought it was so funny because at the beginning, like, she is obsessed. You're laughing at me. She's obsessed with this farm, right? Like, and I would not be happy either. I am not a farm girl. My dad actually grew up on a farm. He is, a farm guy through and through. Drove tractors when he was 10. That is not my life. But Julia really played this up a lot. When she first gets on the set and she's sitting there, Brandon's like, "Oh, this is cool." And she goes, "I like this place. It's better than the farm." And I'm like, okay, like, the farm can't be your personality trait,
Right.
Like, it's overdone. And I thought it was a little bit funny, but I thought that she totally got called out for being a little bit disingenuous about them forcing her to do these chores as part of her living there, because it comes out that no, she didn't have to ever do this. She only needed to do it to help Brandon so he didn't have to do it when he came home, and it was her choice to do it. And she was arguing, well, no, I want to spend time with him, which I guess I can see that, but, like, if you want to spend time with him, just friggin' go feed the stupid pig with tusks, come inside and wait for Brandon to come home and then hang out with him, not feeding animals. I don't understand.
So, for someone who complains about, she complains about the farm, she complained about the apartment. Like, which is it? This girl, I feel like she's very, very hard to please. We're finding out.
Yeah, unless she's in a castle, she's going to probably be unhappy.
I mean, I kind of question whether she's really had to do a lot of hard work. I'm sure go-go dancing is very, very hard. But, like, you're living in somewhere for free. You can't put in an hour of your time and
I agree.
Feed the fucking pigs. Like, why is this difficult? Maybe I don't understand. I don't know.
Yeah, and as much as they made that the storyline, it still was kind of like an unresolved issue. Just hopefully they move. Sometimes that's
I was
just
so bored by all of this. Like, I wrote down the animal argument is boring. Period.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
Also, I thought it was actually the best parts of all of this was how they just kept cutting in with Andrew, like, creepily laughing, like when they were talking about the rules and not being able to be in the same bedroom, and Yara's like, I want to be able to have relations and
she's like, if I want to have sex whenever I want, I don't want to be in my parents' house.
Right, and I want to.
You have a baby now. That's gonna be over soon. Hate to break it to you.
And then they cut, and Andrew's like,
gross. Speaking of, never mind.
And that outfit, and I was
gross.
Like, they did it a couple times.
Gross.
He creepily chimed in about something, and then I wrote, Andrew creepily laughs at the BC. I don't know what BC means. Combo. I don't know what that means, but anyway, I just thought it was great use of Andrew, because that was about all he contributed.
Yeah, he didn't contribute much. Same thing with Tariq and Hazel. They didn't need to be on here this episode, but they were there. They sat through it. She didn't move her face. Like, she just, I don't know if she was awake or not, but they could have given her the night off.
Bore me.
Yes. Yes. I mean, do I want to see the whole showdown with Minty? Yes, I do.
Yeah, that'll be funny.
I'm excited for that, but they didn't need to be there this time. And God, enough. This is their third season, I think.
Yeah, I'm good.
We need to move on from them. We've seen it all. Unless they get a live-in girlfriend. That's the only time I want them to come back, because I'd like to see how that goes.
A live-in girlfriend for Hazel, but not for Tariq.
Well, it
Yeah,
was funny because
let's be real. That's the only way
when
it's
they
gonna
were
work.
saying, Tariq was saying to us, like, we have to stay at home and do this via Zoom because we had contact with someone who had COVID. Normally, I wouldn't think twice about that sentence, but when he says it, had contact with, I'm like, ooh, what were they?
Ooh.
What were they doing? We know they roll. So
Forgot about
they
that.
didn't. Sadly, they didn't elaborate. I was hoping they would. Okay, so Rebecca and Ziad. Played out storyline. Most of this was plastic surgery talk, which I did find interesting, but it's like this shouldn't be the main thing about your life. I want to know, Ziad, you arrived at an apartment with a shopping cart in the living room and no furniture. How did you feel about that? Do you have furniture now? They didn't talk about any of that. Okay. So yeah, she got some work done. She's more obsessed with her age than anyone else. B&B?
You know what made me laugh when Sean Robinson said, "Did you want her to look younger?" Ziad goes, "Yeah."
Yep.
Total language barrier too. He was like, what did he say? Like, oh, like,
so much
she looks
sexy,
young, or whatever, and she's like giving him like the evil eye, you know, and then she's trying to explain like, oh, you like because this, and he's like, yeah. Well. He's so funny though, and when they got into the whole talk about plastic surgery, and he wanted to get like liposuction or something, and Julia's like, yeah, but you're young. And he goes, yeah, but I like to eat pizza, and starts laughing.
Same.
I do think though, like if he just hit the gym a little bit and he could still eat his same diet, just a little bit, I think he would be a really good looking guy. So, you know.
I think he's adorable. I love him.
Funny.
I can't help
it.
Maybe he should just take Julia's advice and just go to the gym. It fixes everything.
The gym club.
Yes.
The gym club.
Yeah. So she's delusional. I don't. And, you know, Rebecca laid it out. She's like, okay, so for people who didn't see this is what happens. The girls were talking about it's okay to get plastic surgery. And they all said, you know, I've done this and I've done that. And then the 22-year-old says, you don't need to get Botox. You can just go to the gym. And that didn't go over very well. So, yeah, I still am confused. I'm also confused why no one asked Sean what she was doing. Those are my two takeaways. Why aren't we
all need that fountain of youth, man.
I don't understand. Oh, go ahead.
Did you ever hear back from Stephanie, Allison?
I did not.
Damn it.
I don't think she even read it. So I need to follow up. But I was thinking that actually after watching this episode, because we don't know anything because Stephanie isn't there, our poor girl, and Ryan and Harris will never know. But Julia might be a good one to try to hone in on because she seems to like the drama and
she has opinions.
Yeah, she likes
you know what?
To weigh in on everything.
Just message all of them and we'll see what sticks.
Yeah,
exactly. No, that's not a bad idea. So. So the only other thing that I had about the plastic surgery was they were all talking about if they've had their lips done, which I think they all had. Mm-hmm. No one asked Hazel, and this girl's lip is hitting the top of her nose. Now, is that the lipstick, or is like
that's
her
lipstick?
Lips are so big. She's gonna have lipstick on her nose. I couldn't stop. Like every time they showed her, and her face didn't move, and her lip is stuck to her nose. I was. It's odd.
I really like maybe I'm being naive, but I think that's actually her lips. Like I don't think she's had anything done.
Allison, I was gonna say the same thing. They don't look fake to me.
They don't.
No.
Damn it! No one asked. Maybe next episode they can ask because that was. I don't know if it's just the lipstick makes it look like a lot, but she literally looked like she had that wax candy on her face, like those wax like. That's what it looked like. It was interesting.
Yeah.
So there was nothing about them. So they and we got to end the Rebecca and Ziad, and I'm going to bring this up just because to please you guys. Rebecca was naked in the hot tub.
Oh.
They had to make sure to tell us that.
It's like, oh.
You're welcome.
Oh,
B&B.
So much sexy.
Oh.
He decided not to show up and he slept outside. And was this their honeymoon night or the night before?
The night before the wedding.
Either way, the romance was apparently gone because he left her in the hot tub.
A horror movie.
Poor thing.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Oh my God.
That hot tub. I would go in there in a full scuba suit and, a bubble. No, nope.
Yeah, oh, right? That gives me the shivers.
It's just, yeah, it's not good. So quite a visual for that. So we ended with they tried to relive all that Hannah drama. Hold on. They bring in the daughter Tiffany and Tiffany's husband Micah. What was on his head?
I don't know. What was that? It was so bad. I don't think I've seen hair that has been worse than in this entire episode. He had like some living animal on top of his head. It
looked like a squirrel's tail.
It was so weird. And I was like, and then the mustache to go with it.
He's disgusting.
Yeah, that was not cute. Somebody needs to tell him.
Why didn't anyone tell him? Yes.
The perm, the bangs with the straight hair. Tamara had a whole glow up, but her hair was still messed up. Like these people need some help, in that department.
They're Georgia, correct? Georgia, that's where they are? Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
I just the gray curly thing on the top of his head was, I did a triple take, and yes, I'm glad I remembered to bring that up.
I tried to block it out. Actually, I think now that I'm thinking back, I went, what the? And then I was just like,
And then they went on to Rebecca naked in the hot tub, and it's like from one tragedy to the next.
Too much.
So
yeah, it was so bad.
We gotta deal with these things one thing at a time. So I don't really know if this is all we're gonna get of Andrew and Amira, or if this was a tease. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of Amira's look?
Allison? I thought she looked horrible. The lighting on her was awful. It did her no justice.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know why she was wearing lingerie.
She had on a red corset. That's bold.
I was confused.
Now, granted, she has enough hair where you're not going to see anything. So maybe she was just banking on if my nipple comes popping out, my hair will cover it. But she could be a very sympathetic character right now, but I don't know if she's doing herself any favors. And I'm not trying to victim shame anybody, but I don't know. I'm having trouble feeling a lot of compassion for her. B&B?
I agree. And I forget who it was, but someone said that her story didn't add up. So I think there's something else that's going to be coming out. So I'm kind of looking forward to that because I want to feel bad for her.
Yes, me
but
too.
The whole thing just seems like a huge overreaction. And maybe we're wrong. I don't know, but it just seemed, I don't know. The whole thing was bizarre.
Allison, did you feel the same way?
So I have also heard that there might be a little bit more to the Amira story that we're not hearing about, through Reddit forums and Instagram posts and things like that. I thought that there was a couple of things here, and they were only on for a couple of minutes. First of all, Andrew looks disgusting. Whoever straightened his hair, what is with the hair on this episode?
What is that? It's so bad.
It was weird. He just looked creepy. His outfit was terrible.
The vest and
the vest did not fit him at all.
It was weird.
And it's a vest.
Good point. He has deluded himself into thinking that he didn't do anything wrong, or he thinks that he's fooling us, because his reaction to them telling him that she was not going to interact with him during the tell-all was very, very weird. You could kind of see it on his face, and it was almost as if he had a moment, I don't know if you saw it, where you could kind of see the anger flash a little bit, and there was something that came over him, and I was like, oh my God. thinking to myself, I'm kind of now glad. I will retract my I wish Amira came to America because I wanted to see what happened between the two of them. I retract that because I think he's scary. Like, there is something about him that is off, and I think he is abusive, and there is something going on there that is not right. And he has problems, and he was throwing a tantrum, and I hope he does leave because I don't want to deal with him anymore. He gives me the creeps. Like, there's just something bad about him.
Did you ever see the movie Sleeping with the Enemy? And there's a scene in the beginning, and she's, you know, like an abused wife, and he lectures her about having like the stripes of the dish towels all lined up, and he says, "Come over here and look at this." I was really getting, I wish you knew the reference, because I was really getting that vibe from him. Like, I was ready for him to like snap, just like, and you're right, you can see it boiling almost like behind his eyes.
Yes.
It was very disturbing.
I mean, he snapped on production, so that was
Yes.
very, very minor. So there's no doubt in my mind that he is potentially verbally abusive towards her.
Yeah.
Well, and he forgets that we've seen the text messages. Like,
right.
We've seen all of that now.
I would like someone to ask her why she initially fell in love with him. Because I see no redeeming qualities.
Yeah.
He's certainly not a looker. And I understand that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I get that. But like, I just want to know what attracted her to him. Was it America? Was it his personality? I guess we'll never know.
The 4 foot tall teddy bear, was that what it was? He had that giant stuffed animal.
That would have done it for me.
So disturbing.
Well, the other disturbing thing is, if you think about it, he works with children. Like, I would not send my children to his place.
Oh, I bet his business is taking a hit right now, an absolute hit. I will say, and I'm not defending him, I would like to watch them have a conversation, because if someone wants to retort something, you can't have her sit there and rattle off a 10-minute story and then he responds to it with a 10. Like, I don't want to see that. As a selfish viewer, I would rather watch her say, "Look, you did this," and see what he says. Would be just a much better way to do it. Allison,
it's not smart on his part. So, as a, publicist, I think that you need to make sure that you are able to tell your story. And I think that even because listen, what Amira is going to say is not going to be good. We all know this, and we can anticipate she's going to come on and say X, Y, and Z because of this experience, and here's all the avenues that she can take, and here's what you need to say, right? To defend yourself, or to make yourself look better, or to, if it's true, get the real side of the story out that kind of redeems you a little bit. Kind of like Benny and Ron, they did redeem themselves a little bit. They were able to speak their piece and say, like, well, this is actually really what happened with the birth control.
Right.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Can you even imagine this is a conversation? But like, Andrew he is not doing himself any favors by throwing his tantrum and leaving. And honestly, it doesn't surprise me, but at the same time, not smart dude at all.
So I kind of feel like it kind of incriminates him a little bit, because if he were to be like, okay, well, I really didn't do anything wrong, Amir can say what she wants and I'll tell my story after. But the fact that he won't let her be the only one on camera, I think that's a little bit telling.
Yeah.
Well, you have this platform to talk to millions of people that are judging you based on your terrible behavior.
Yeah.
And you should use that.
Yeah, or made better decisions along the way and not been an absolute asshole. Absolutely. So now you just gotta sit back and take it. It's part of the process. So tragically, Stephanie was not on the tell-all, but she is doing her own thing on Instagram. Did anyone else catch this?
No.
Okay. Is it like couch convos or something?
Yes. Now, okay. It was 58 minutes long. I breezed through it in about 4. So I can give you the abbreviated version if you would like.
Give us a recap.
First of all, she had what I am now calling, I'm coming up with this on the spot, like glam ponytails, where her top of her head was all poofed up, and then the ponytails came down in big ringlets. So she went all out for this with the glam ponytails. It looked really bad. So then she brings on her personal trainer guy to like basically like she's holding him at gunpoint and he's going, no, Stephanie never does any drugs. This was all a setup. TLC made her look really bad. So, and then she had other people come on and pretty much say like what a great boss she is and how she's been set up to look like she's on drugs. Meanwhile, slurring her words. I mean, it's all the same that we've seen. Like, lady, we watched you pound a liter of wine in 5 minutes. So I don't know what she's talking about.
Okay, maybe she doesn't do drugs, but she's a heavy drinker.
Heavy drinker. Yes. Yeah, so it was, you know, I think we know she wasn't on the tell-all because she was unhappy. It looks like with the way she was portrayed is what I'm understanding. I don't know how that works. Like, will she still get paid, or is there what part of the contract is voided? Would anyone know that?
Do we know that for a fact though? Like, is it her decision, or because I was like, they could say to them, there was so much that was so wrong about what happened with her. Like the whole glow in the dark condom situation, him taking it off, like it was so messed up. Like I can kind of see TLC being like, you know what, this is a little too much for us. Like, who was the couple? The guy like had a court record and he was abusive. Like he locked
the
his
nipple
like,
tattoos
girlfriend in the closet. Yeah. And
I don't remember his name. I just remember those tattoos. Ugh.
It was horrible, and they were like, they're not going to be here anymore. And they never really said why, but people kind of dug in and found out. So I would be really interested to know. But I think that if you break your contract with TLC and you like put out pictures or like whatever, you can't be on anymore. But I'm sure that there is some sort of payment penalty.
Interesting. Maybe I'll have to go back and watch the full 58 minutes, but I'm not sure if I can do. I'll have to do it in like, you know, 10-minute segments.
I'll have to go see. I mean, I was looking around her Instagram and she had posted these videos of her running around giving people $100 bills.
She's big on, I mean, this was how she was with the families. She's like, oh, look, I'm giving people stuff. It was a validation.
Weird, though.
Yeah, right.
It wasn't like pay it forward or like I'm paying for somebody's Starbucks. It was
look at me, I'm a good person.
Right. It was not about helping other people. It was solely about Stephanie and
her image.
It was very weird.
Yeah. She's
everything about her is just off.
It's not going well, and I don't foresee it getting any better. So that said, I wouldn't mind a Stephanie spinoff. I would watch that.
Oh, I would too. In a heartbeat.
We'll see.
A lot of people would.
So next week we'll have part 2. I think we'll get a lot more of Tariq and Hazel. Hopefully some more Mira. How that's going to be 2 hours long, I have no idea. But I think we're in it was a pandemic and we couldn't really film much. So here you go.
Well, I think we're going to get more Mike and Natalie too, which
goody.
I'm somewhat looking forward to because I want to know
what is there left to say.
Details.
Well, maybe they'll actually say something.
So yeah. Okay, what was with her outfit? Like what?
You didn't like it?
Situation.
I didn't hate it.
It's totally not my style, but I thought she freaking slayed it in that dress. I thought it was very flattering on her. Because a lot of the season we saw her in jeans and a sweatshirt.
Yeah. If the ruffle was half of what the ruffle was, I think I would like a little bit more subtle with the ruffle, but
she looked like a flamenco dancer. Like those costumes that they wear.
See, I thought of everyone. I didn't love Julia's. Julia looked like she should be at Starbucks. Just I don't know.
The outfits were not great. Like I'm trying to think. I liked Rebecca's outfit. I would have liked it better if she wore like leather pants instead of a skirt. But I think her outfit was my favorite out of all of them.
Out of everyone's look, I thought that Julia kind of got shafted. I didn't love her makeup. I didn't love her hair, and her outfit was just kind of plain Jane
She
to me a
just
little
looked
bit.
very plain.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Rebecca does love a good jewel tone. I think she knows that goes with her hair, and I think Natalie looks fantastic in red, and I think Sean Robinson could wear a paper bag and she'd still be the hottest one on the stage. So
Always.
you know, if you're gonna message someone, Allison,
Yes.
and be like, look, we don't really care that much about 90 Day Fiance. I want the exercise routine. I want to know what you eat and what you drink, how much you sleep, please. Because I don't understand. I have a little kettlebells in my bedroom and I do my, arm exercises, but I don't want to be buff. I want my arms to get smaller. So I don't understand how I'm supposed to do that. So we need Sean Robinson to come on.
Just go to the gym, Lauren. Just go to the gym.
Just go to the gym
club.
Cures everything.
I was going to actually look this up because we cannot be the only people that think this. I mean, she's like, it's like the fountain of youth or something. It's ridiculous how
it doesn't make
stunning
sense.
this woman is. And she doesn't look overdone. She doesn't look stretched out. She doesn't look anything. So
she doesn't look like she's been injected and good.
And come back to you.
Projects, because our new obsession. Good. Yeah. All right. Well, we will be back next week, and I think Gig is going to join us, so that's very exciting. We're good for now. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.